This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
Talking about your jackass moments this after Johnny Knoxville's in the news, talking about all his injuries that he's sustained already. But he's like a 50-year-old man now.
Yeah, and there's filming even more. So think of the injuries that are going to happen.
When they were younger, you got to think that like it would take a day to recover or, a week to recover. I bet it's taking months now.
Ryder, they were 29 when they started filming. I'm 31 and I have the worst knees. Like I went on a casual walk yesterday and I was concerned I was going to pull a muscle real bad.
Imagine 50.
Yeah, so what is your jackass moment? Jay from Onaway is listening. We love you. So glad you got a new phone number and you're texting in again. He said, it wasn't one that my dad would kill us for because it was his idea. My dad put our trampoline right beside the house so we could jump out of the window of the second floor.
Good practice if there was a fire.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Good call.
What do you got for us, Forrest?
I was a pretty big jackass when the video camera got pulled out, and I broke my neck.
Doing what?
Snowboarding.
Just trying to be too extreme on the hill?
Yeah, I was trying to be the most extreme guy on Rabbit Hill that day.
Rabbit Hill? That is so embarrassing. Did you have to be lifted off on a stretcher?
Yeah, I had to be. Thanks for laughing, Lisa. That's
Sorry,
awesome.
It's just a really funny visual. Were you on the bunny hill?
Yes, I was.
I'm just bugging you.
No, I was in the park and I went off a jump and I came down from about 15 to 20 feet on the top of my head.
Oof.
That is so brutal.
And then I was in a halo for 3 months where I had screws bolted into my head. And
You went full Regina George?
I went full Regina George.
Dang, how old were you?
17, and I was 3 months from graduation, and I had to drop out.
Dude!
Hey, was your trick at least fetch?
Not so fetch.
Play 107.
Apparently there were a lot of people like me who tried to do hardcore stuff when they were younger because they were influenced by Jackass.
You know that your parents were very worried. After knowing that you went and saw that movie in theaters with your friends, they're like, oh, great.
It was the TV show that was the most extreme, though. And it was like every week they'd come out with another episode. And
Oh, really?
You'd want to go outside and like do it immediately afterward.
No.
Yeah, it was on MTV back in the day.
Andrew wrote in saying, it took me a minute to find the photo from 15 years ago, but here it is. And it's a photo of him and his friend, and they're standing, both of them, with the top of a pine tree. Mm-hmm. It almost looks like they cut it off and they're holding it all proud. But they do something called Coloradoing, where you climb a tall pine tree to the top until the top snaps off. And then you ride the broken piece off and land into the snow. He said the stupid part is we also did this in July and somehow didn't break anything, even after falling 50 to 60 feet.
Yowza. So some people's stuff was extreme. Mine was more like really lame, and we thought we were extreme.
Before we get into some more stories of your jackass moment, times that you thought you were Johnny Knoxville, one of my best friends, Liz, was partying with Bam once. Her and one of her girlfriends, they saw him out and about drinking, obviously.
She was probably hosting a bar night.
Yeah,
right?
probably. And she said he was like so messed up. And he's like, let's go get tattoos. And she was like, well, I'm not going to get one, but let me draw yours. So Bam has a tattoo on his leg that one of my best friends drew up. And it says, quote unquote, maple I will, maple I won't. Edmonton 2011. And it's drawn
cool.
like in a maple leaf. Just
awesome.
A terrible tattoo, but I do think it's pretty cool that she drew one of his tattoos.
About the same age as you, so it was about the same time frame, like high school, and that stuff came out. And I was a big wrestling fan too, so that didn't help. I actually jumped off the gym roof by my house, like the peak of the gym roof. Did like a flying elbow drop to the utility shed down below.
No.
Yeah, and it's to this day there's still like a body-sized dent in the shed.
What was your injury? What'd you break?
I dislocated my shoulder. My friends like dragged me home, and my mom's like, "What happened?" And they're like, "Oh, he fell off the monkey bars."
The really, really high monkey bars.
Yeah,
Do you have video proof of it?
I wish, man.
Yeah.
This is before we had cell phones and all that.
Right.
God, I wish.
You would have had to pull out Mom's old camcorder.
Yeah.
Couldn't risk her finding that.
My name is Shane. I'm just going to jump off this roof.
Talking about your morning demands. This text says, my kids know it is my demand that the coffee machine is to be turned on before they come and wake me up, especially on weekends.
So is this a machine where they probably grind the beans at night?
Yeah,
Everything's
maybe.
set and ready to rock for the morning.
Just needs the button to be pressed so the kids know they got to press that button before they wake up Mom. I really like that text. That's a good rule.
And it reminds me of that Folgers commercial, which I thought was brilliant advertising. Best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. And it's always them smelling the coffee before they even lift their head off
And
the
you're
pillow.
like, how did they do that? I know you can set your timer to just automatically do it. I've just never done that.
Steph wrote in saying, I'm a boss, and at my office, nobody is allowed to reheat their fish or make popcorn before noon on the dot.
Who's making popcorn? What kind of
Honestly,
office you running?
I actually think that would make me furious. So I understand where Steph is coming from. Like, if you're making popcorn in the morning, are you even working? Or are you at your desk watching Netflix?
Hi.
What are you up to?
Catching some YouTube, popping some corn.
I love it. I think that's so funny.
Here's what Lisa does every morning when we get in here, and it is the worst.
Okay, it's not even a big deal. We get in here so early. First thing Ryder wants to do is party.
No.
He's got the music cranked.
Lisa,
turn it down.
The music is at a completely appropriate level, but we work at a radio station.
Yes,
I
but-
like setting the tone. I
No.
like my energy going up in the morning.
You don't sit directly beside the speaker.
Oh, you're
I
a
do.
foot and a half away from me.
That's closer to the speaker.
Yeah, ooh. Anyway, so I'll have the music at like a minimal
No, it's
or
loud.
average level, and you'll first of all you go, can you please turn that down? It's what time is it? 4:45. Please turn that down. And then
That's early.
you will reach over and just turn it right down so the music's off. And I'm like, well, when I'm in here, I like to know what's happening, make sure that we're still on the air. So I'll like turn it back up a little bit, afraid that I'm going to get in trouble. It's ridiculous. And it's
too
been
early.
a battle for years now.
See, that's what's ridiculous about this. That should be my rule, but you never listen to me. I always have to demand that you turn it down.
No, because we both have different demands. I demand that we actually can hear the music a little bit in here, and I like it.
We don't need to be having a dance party at 4:45.
Well, if you got to choose, you'd be having naps during the show.
I mean, brilliant. I should start doing that.
Yeah, but I need to. Okay, so here's what we're going to do moving forward. Very good suggestion on the text line.
What?
Why doesn't Lisa do her prep work, getting ready for the show, in another room?
Oh, I should start doing that.
Awesome.
Why can't you go to another room?
Because I like the music in here. You can go sit at a desk with no music if you want.
Jen wrote in saying, do not turn on the lights. My eyes need to wake up first. I have a feeling that comes from a personal experience where your kids just barge into your room, flick the lights on. It's rude. Mm-hmm. Can't be doing that.
You should have the Enrique song ready to go just at all times. Don't turn on the lights.
See, that's what I have to listen to at 4:45 in the morning. He sings along to the music.
Especially Enrique.
Play 107.
So I have a bold take on the resurgence of the mullet, and it's that it's being fueled by dudes supporting dudes.
And I think you're right, because we did a quick poll on the text line asking the ladies listening, are you interested in the mullet, in the mullet?
The mullet movement.
And 100% of the responses are no.
Well, let's check the phones. Maybe they're different.
Oh, well, I don't care what they say that there's a business in the front, party in the back. Absolutely not. Business in the front and the back. That's what
You mean all business?
all business. I get that you want to party. I get that. But you can show me that later. That's what I think.
Not with your hairstyle.
Yes, thank you so much.
Not with the hair.
Thank you. 780-784-7107. We have Rachel on the phone, who is a hairstylist. In your professional opinion, where do you stand?
I actually hate them. I think they're gross. I think they're greasy.
But if a guy comes in and asks for one, do you cut it? You do it?
After I ask him if he lost a bet. No, like, seriously. He'll come in and be like, yo, I want a mullet and I want, like, the racing stripes on the side.
Yeah.
Like, did you lose a bet?
That is awesome.
I got a couple buddies who are rocking them right now, and I have so much pride in my friendship with them. Like, they're nasty mollies, and I am all about it.
I don't mind the mullet. I mean, I've dated guys that have mullets.
All of them.
All of them have actually had mullets. Millhouse texted in saying, it had to leave first to make a comeback, and it never left, baby. Millhouse, I need to see your hair. Can you please send in a picture?
Okay, that's a good one. And do you see how accurate my statement was? All the dudes that are texting in are pro Molly, and all of the ladies, all of them are anti-mullet so far. Like, you're the only one that...
It reminds me of how women support women in a sense of bringing back the high-waisted jeans, the mom jeans, and all guys are like, I don't like those. They don't look at them. We're like, we don't care.
Well...
We don't care what you think.
I like that.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Once you battle through that awkward stage of, like, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway, all of a sudden it does become stylish. I do think that there's... Like, anytime anything makes a comeback, there's people that are like, oh, the fanny pack's making a comeback. But if you just keep your head down and battle through, all of a sudden it will be popular again.
My best advice to anyone that's feeling a bit insecure or nervous about a new look that you're going for, just rock it like you've been doing it for years. It's the best way to look confident. You fake your confidence. Like, let's say you want to rock red lipstick for the first time, but you're nervous. Just do it. Just do it, and don't even bring it up when you run into people. Don't be like, oh, I'm trying out red lipstick.
Yeah.
Don't. Just get the mom jeans. Cut the mullet yourself. You've got this.
So how'd they get that stage name is a question I've asked about some big stars over the years who obviously aren't using their real name. Like, how did Snoop Dogg get his name?
Well, it turns out his nickname when he was a kid was Snoopy because he loved the Peanuts character so much. His mom called him Snoopy all the time.
That's adorable.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Emma Stone, who actually just gave birth, she's going to be the lead in the Cruella movie that's coming out. When she started acting, her real name was already taken. Her real name is Emily Stone. So she was like, well, I love Baby Spice. So she changed her name to Emma.
Emma Stone's a catchy name. Good pick.
Okay, some other ones that I thought were kind of interesting. John Legend took that stage name after the nickname of him being such a legend was well known in his own little social circle that he changed it to his real name.
Really? So, like, he legally changed his name to John Legend. That's interesting.
Vanilla Ice. He earned it as a teenager because of his extremely pale complexion and his dance move that he invented that mimics sliding on ice.
I didn't know that. That's cool. Most people, I would assume, think my name is Ryder without, digging too deep. You just assume that people could go by their name, but it's not. So here's how I ended up coming up with Ryder. I was doing a show in Lloydminster at the time by my legal name, and then they got me to record an evening show in Bonnyville, a couple hours north, and said, like, no, we don't want people to know it's the same person. So I had half an hour to come up with a new name.
That's all they gave you?
Yeah. Before I did my first show. So I'm lucky I landed on something good because there's some token radio names out there that people go by, and I just can't imagine being like a Captain or Kid or Buzz or Crash or Roadkill or Big Dog. And actually having to commit to, like...
For the rest of your life.
People call you that forever. Because you don't realize it, that, like, it's your name now.
It's what people associate you with.
I grew up going by my middle name, which is Stefan, and my brother used to call me Stevie Ryder as a nickname.
Just out of nowhere. It just had a good ring to it.
Yeah, I guess. So I went by Ryder based on that being my nickname. And then, like, I wanted to switch back to maybe even Stefan Ryder down the road. and I got a job in Saskatoon. And they're like, no, you're in Saskatchewan. We hired you because your name's Ryder because of the love for the Ryders there. And then at that point, my brand was kind of built.
And it's funny because a couple weeks ago, we were raising money for people that lost their home in St. Albert due to a fire. And people were e-transferring you directly the donations. And they're like, I don't think I sent it to the right person.
Who's this Stefan that accepted my transfer?
And there were hundreds of people that donated. So I was like, oh, you're busted.
I'm definitely busted at that point. If anybody would like to see my legal first and last name, feel free to transfer me some money. Ryder@play107.com and you'll find out. What?
Okay, I just wanted to let you know about one more celebrity because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, please.
Cardi B had a nickname growing up, and it was Bacardi because her sister's name is Hennessy, but she shortened it after her Instagram account kept getting deleted. So that's why she's now Cardi B instead of Bacardi.
That's dope.
Her real name, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Belcalis Almanzar.
What, didn't you have a nickname that was based after a liquor for a little while?
Oh, yeah, and it was Bacardi.
What did people call you?
People called me Lisa Superior because I would drink Bacardi Superior and I would turn into this.
That should have been your radio name for sure.
Oh, my gosh.
I just wanted to read a text we got. Carmen has been texting in on and off over the last year, just asking us for an update on the numbers. She knows we often include the COVID numbers in our trending segment.
Yep.
Of what's going on in the world. And so she asked today, and the number is 387. And I thought it was just a good sign of where we're headed that I looked back in her past text, and she texted on May 6th as well and said, did you guys announce the numbers yet? And they were 2,271 new cases in the province that day. Once again, we're at 387.
And this has been in the past month.
Yeah, so that's like cases per day. And she asked a couple weeks ago, and we were in rough shape. And I'm not taking anything away from the ICU right now, which is a scary place, and the health professionals, which want us to continue to make good decisions. But it is a light at the end of the tunnel that we've changed drastically that much. I just did the math, and it's like 5.8% of what we were at just a mere less than 3 weeks ago. So keep making good decisions.
Play 107.
Happy World Redhead Day. I know our redheaded friends have been the brunt of many a joke since South Park really changed the game with the nickname of Gingers. But
oh, they're beautiful.
With that said,
redheads are gorgeous. Only 2% of the population are redheads, and only 0.17% of the population have red hair and blue eyes.
And that's a look. I like the red hair and green eyes too, though.
And you know what? Freckles are in now. Like, I wish I had more freckles.
So we've come up with a list of our favorite redheads. You have how many on your list, Lisa?
I didn't know we were doing lists. I just chose one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to sound like a raging pervert, but why don't you go ahead with your list of one?
Well, growing up, I was obsessed with Seth Green, so he was my choice. Isn't that pathetic? Like, there are no good... Really, there's not a lot of sexy redhead...
musicians?
Who?
Lead singer of Eat Six, lead singer of Queens of the Stone Age. Ed Sheeran.
Chuck Norris. He's a ginger.
See, there you go. You're starting to come around that.
What about the guy from Harry Potter?
Or what about Prince Harry?
Ooh, Prince Harry.
He's a pretty handsome redheaded guy.
He is handsome. You're right. You're right.
All right, here's my list. Number 6, Brittany Snow from Pitch Perfect.
Ooh, great choice. She's got the blue eyes too, doesn't she?
I think so, yeah. Number 5 is Sophie Turner.
Game of Thrones, married now. Did she change her last name to Jonas? No, she's still a Turner.
Which Jonas brother did she marry? Jonas?
Joe.
Okay.
Jonas doesn't exist.
Number 4, I have Amy Adams. Number 3, Emma Stone. Number 2, Jessica Rabbit.
You don't have Nicole Kidman on your list?
Oh, she got bumped. And number 1 is...
For a fictional character?
Yeah, way she goes. Number 1's Donna Paulson from Suits. That was her character.
Yes.
Sarah Rafferty is her name, and I am obsessed with her.
Ken wrote in saying Scully, X-Files. A lot of Emma Stones coming in on the text line. Drew Barrymore. Great.
And
answer.
Also a lot of Jessica Rabbits, so I'm not alone.
Okay. Brianne, we want to hear all about what you've come up with, what you're all about. We'd love our listeners to be in the know.
Okay. So I own a streetwear brand called Helfrich Collective. Basically, I started it in the midst of the pandemic to do something. I was at home, wasn't doing very much. So basically, we sell hoodies and sweatpants, and we donate to different organizations and different charities in Canada, America, and then we also donate to local shelters here in Edmonton.
That's amazing. So how quickly
Thank
were
you.
you able to get things rumbling when you launched this idea?
Well, I came up with the idea in November, and then by January, my first launch happened.
So where can people find your streetwear? Where can they contact you to make some purchases and buy some gifts for their friends or whatever?
On our Instagram, it's at Helfrich Collective, and then we also have a website that's helfrichcollective.com.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on the kickoff to something pretty special, and hopefully something
Thank
that
you so
sticks
much.
around long after COVID is gone.
Yeah.
I hope so. Thank you.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.